So I identify as a heterosexual woman, and that was not a popular viewpoint when I said it on People Are Talking in 1986. I was assigned male at birth, and that was really confusing to me. It was really confusing to me when I hit puberty and started developing curves, hips, breasts. Just made me the butt of the joke and someone to be humiliated on a pretty regular basis. In 1977, I was 17. I moved to Baltimore to go to MICA. It was my way of escaping my parents and trying to figure out what the hell was going on in life. So I sort of explored within the LGBT community, although it wasn't really called that then, and I just couldn't quite get my fingers on it. Because I'm coming from a time when trans wasn't a word that we knew very much. You know, you heard of Christian Jorgensen and Rainey Richards, but that was about it. So in 1979, I ran into a friend on the street, and he said, "Hey, I'm going to a friend's house, come with me." And so I said, "Okay." And I get there, and it turned out it was somebody I knew. And he looked at me, and he said, "I'm a makeup artist." And he said, "You would be a really beautiful woman. Let me put makeup on." And he did. And I went in the bathroom, and I saw myself for the first time like that. And I freaked out and immediately washed it off. And about a week later, he moved in my apartment building, and I was knocking at the door. Through him, I met my first transgender friend, and she opened doors for me. So I'm going to jump forward to Valentine's Day of 1980. So this is probably like my third time out in public as my true self, and I met Rick Wilson. So I'm at the Hippo, and I'm wearing this cute little teal cocktail dress that I made. And he came up to me, and he told me how beautiful I was. And he was the first person probably to validate me for who I really was. About a week later, he moved into the apartment building next door to me. And of course, after he told me I was beautiful, we were immediately best friends, and have been ever since. And we became family. It was more than friends, we were family. You know, I just remember the mixture of excitement and fear at the time, and Rick was always there for me. I was sort of an introvert, surprise, and he not an introvert at all. And so he would push me to be able to pursue the things that I really wanted to pursue. And one of the big things, though, was as I really came to terms with who I was and I moved through the world, so I came up at a time when there were very few venues for someone who was trans, and that word wasn't just really out there. And so I came up through the drag world. And so some of you, if you were around then, may remember me as Jill St. Clair. Oh! So, yes, I was Miss Gay Maryland in 1980. And Carol Randolph Show in DC, and on Larry King, where I kept saying I was a heterosexual woman and people just didn't get me. So anyways, Rick was always there for me. My own family rejected me. He was there for me. He was family. We had holidays together. My gay friends rejected me. They didn't want to be seen with a drag queen. He was with me through all the pageants when I was a pageantzilla at best. So I was a formed something to be reckoned with. And to the point where the night I won Miss Maryland, he actually was on his knees behind my props that he had helped build, on his knees with a flashlight in his mouth, because we had to change my costume in 20 seconds on stage. Who else would sit with a flashlight in their mouth to help you change costumes? Anyways, we have been through our adult lives together. He's always older, and I love to tell him that. We are both elders, unfortunately, and so, or fortunately. And so, anyways, he's just always been there. We've both been through a lot of bumps in the road, and one of the big things, though, is we have resilience, and we have reinvented ourselves so many times, but we've always been there to be the rock for the other when that person needed it. And that's my friend Rick Wilson. I lived 12 for 30-some years, meaning I moved to suburbia and got married and did that whole thing and dropped out. And Rick was one of the people who a couple years ago started to encourage me to come out. And that's why I pursued to become the LGBT veteran care coordinator for the VA Maryland.